So where we are today is to brief our members through you, and it's giving you a lot of the issues already. What I'm going to add is just to say, like he's added, that before biometric can happen, you would have to first accept the data, accept the people who can appear for the biometric capturing. It's not just going to be open to anybody. There should be a process. So you have to first accept that when the biometric machine comes, only these persons can appear before the one who brings the machine to capture the persons. And that is what we are going through now. What biometric does is to reduce identity theft. It's not like it doesn't, the error and the problem we are talking about here is possibly having someone who should not be being in. But this system is going to make sure that if you are not supposed to be in, you will not be what? In. It will pick only those who are supposed to be in. It won't pick any other person. So it's a preparation that will lead us to having a credible biometric register. It is not, and I've heard these discussions in some platforms, that the party is not embarking on a biometric registration again. No, we have not expunged that provision in our constitution. What we are doing is to start a manual process that will lead us to having a credible biometric register. The issue of elections, how we elect, our constitution has made provision for how we elect our officers. At the branch level, it is all registered party members who will meet at that branch to elect the 7 elected executives and 2 others, making 9. So all party members who would have entered their names into our membership register by end of December will converge at that branch and elect the branch executive. That will make up the 7 officers: the chairman, the secretary, the organizer, the treasurer, the youth organizer, the women's organizer, and the communication officer at the branch, and 2 others. This gives you a number 9. At the constituency conference, our constitution, until the amendments that we did, it used to be 4 people from each branch. That's the chairman of the branch, the secretary of the branch, the organizer of the branch, and the women's organizer of the branch. These 4 were representing the branch at constituency conferences. With the amended constitution now, all the branch executives will be delegates to the constituency conference. So the number has jumped from 4 to 9. We have now had a constituency conference with all the 9 branch executives voting before. This will be the first time that constituency executives will be elected with all branch executives voting. And that has been provided for in the constitution. Then you have the regional conference, which will also elect the regional executives. Before this amendment, it used to be 10 executives from the constituency that will attend regional conference to elect the regional executives, except for the youth organizer and his deputies, and then the women organizer and the deputies. All the other regional positions that are elective were elected by 10 reps from each constituency. With the constitution we have now, all constituency executives that will be elected on the 24th or 25th of March will be delegates to the regional party conference to elect the regional executives. The youth conference will have a separate delegate that will elect them. The women's conference, same. The Zongo caucus, same. For the youth conference, it is all constituency youth organizers, all deputy constituency youth organizers, one other youth that will be elected at the conference, which will elect the constituency youth organizer and the deputy youth organizer, will be delegates to the youth conference. Then one rep from each of the accredited teams in the region will be a delegate to the youth conference. The women, same. The constituency women organizer, the deputy constituency women organizer, all women commissioners from accredited teams, and then one other woman that will be elected at the women's conference at the constituency level, and all MPs, all female MPs from that region will be delegates to the women's conference to elect the regional women's organizer and the 2 deputies. Then at the National Congress also, we have not changed anything. The same delegate system. It's not all members that will meet to vote for the national chairman, the general secretary, and all those other positions. But with the amended constitution, instead of 10 delegates from each constituency, as it happened in Kumasi, where we were elected, it was 10 delegates from each constituency that came to Kumasi to elect these current executives. This time around, all the executives at the constituency level are delegates to the National Congress, plus the many other additions. Former ambassadors who are members of the party, former ministers who are members of the party and are registered with the branches. It's not like you just get up and say, I am a former ambassador or former minister and therefore I will be a delegate. You would have to take advantage of the November to December end membership registration at the branches and go to your branch to be accepted and be registered there. It is only then that your previous position of a minister or ambassador or presidential staffer or a former DCE will qualify you to be a delegate to the National Congress or the regional conference. And so these are the category of persons, and we'll be making the very details available to persons as we move on. The membership register, the manual we are going to do, persons who appear before the branch to be captured, and you will submit to them 2 passport pictures, one that will be placed in here, another that will be used in designing a temporal membership card for you. That membership card that will be given to you will be a temporal one. Your dues payment column is also in here, that you would, as you pay dues, it will be entered, because that is what will qualify you to be a member. Don't forget, your membership is enshrined in the Constitution, and it says you must pay subscription fee and the membership dues. The party, as announced, has agreed that each member at the ordinary, to be a member, you need to pay your subscription fee and then 1 cedi as your dues every month. So for a year, you are expected to pay 12 cedi as dues for a year. That's the minimum. That's the minimum. Indeed, there will be other categories. I know people already, some are paying even 200 and above as dues a month. Some are paying 500 and then above. So we are encouraging everybody. That's the barest minimum. So if you want to be a member, no matter who you are, we are social, no matter who you are, that 1 cedi you would have to pay it. You must work to pay. If you have to lobby somebody to do it for you, that is up to you. But that must go into the books, and that is what will entitle you for membership. And so people must prepare for that. We will have proper coding system that will codify you, such that when you pick your membership, if I hold your membership card, I will know this person is from this region, maybe it's in Greater Accra, is Bon-Katamanso constituency, is Pentecost area branch, Gulf City. I'll be able to tell because of the codes that will be developed. So you pick it and you can analyze a member all the way to the person's branch. Another issue like the chairman raised will be to capture this data that we'll be capturing will later be transferred onto a biometric platform, where now the persons who would have been registered up to this point will be invited at a later date. At that time, the officer who is going to come will have no right to decide who he or she wants to capture onto the biometric register. What the previous system did was to allow an individual who may not even be part of the branch executive to decide to hold a booklet and go and register people anywhere and find a way of getting that booklet to be entered by the data entry person. This time around, when you go to capture the biometric details of these persons, the right body, the branch executive, who our constitution gave that mandate to admit people into the party. You apply to be a member of the party at the branch, and at the next branch executive meeting, your membership is either accepted or rejected. If it's rejected, you are told why they are rejecting your membership. Maybe due to your certain activities that you are engaged in that area, it doesn't qualify you to be a member. But even at that point, it doesn't end there. That person that is rejected can appeal to the constituency executive for the reasons for the rejection to be looked into and whether it is fair or foul. The decision of the constituency executive will be final. So these are the processes that we will be going through. It's very simple, it's straightforward, and it will give us a credible basis for all of us to move. You will not have a situation where a branch chairman will say, I am the branch chairman of this branch. I have been elected as a branch chairman maybe in 2013 or 2014. But a register that was done in 2015 didn't have me as a branch chairman in that branch register that was brought. With this process now, you will not have a situation where somebody is a branch executive and his name or her name will not be in the register. You will surely be in. So you will not have a situation where during the period of campaigning, as chairman said, you will go to a place and then the branch chairman will tell you, but you said I'm not a member, so why should I go and work? You will not have such a situation happening because everybody would have been captured in here. We all would have accepted this. Executive committee that will be formed after the July 27th to 29th National Delegate Congress will be the one that will approve the guidelines that will lead to the election of parliamentary candidates and presidential candidates. When that National Executive Committee meets and it decides as enshrined in Article 39(6) and says that, okay, we want all members as registered in our book to vote, that will be the decision of that. If the decision also is that only 9 branch executives should vote, that will also be a decision that will be applied. Both, the only one that we have tried is all members. The 9-9, we haven't used it before. This will be the first time also that we are trying that one. I've heard people say, then you want to go back to something that you were doing in the past. That one also would have been a new thing, because we used to do 4-4 and we have increased it to 9. We are yet to use that one. So at that point, that decision will be taken. So let's work to have a credible membership register that will lead us into elections at all the levels. Satisfactory elections at branch, constituency, region, and national. The register has been done away with. We have not done away with the biometric system as in our constitution. Article 39 of our constitution has made provision for biometric registration. We have not done away with that article. So the membership we are capturing now will lead us to implementing the Article 39, the provisions in Article 39. The system is still there. We haven't done away with the system. We have done away with a register, which was done and concluded for the November 2015 parliamentary primaries and presidential primaries, has been done away with. So we are starting new membership registration with what we are doing now. Who qualifies to be a member at the branch? Our constitution takes care of who qualifies to be a party member. One, you should not be a member of any other party. You should be 18 years and above, of sound mind, all those things. If you decide, if you turn 18 today and then you go up to apply to be a member, they will assess you. The branch executive will assess you based on the knowledge of you. If you are of sound mind, you are 18 years and above, because your date of birth will give your age. Then they will capture you. If they feel that you are not 18 yet, they will have a book into which they will capture you, because you will be a future member. So that is what qualifies you to be a member. That's what qualifies. So fresh people will apply. But the condition is that you must not be a member of any other party. If it's proven that you are a member of, say, another party, maybe PPPPP, you are a member of NCP, you are a member of something party, you cannot also belong to the NDC. So that is the qualification. Or being a regional executive, then at the same time a constituency executive, or being a national executive and at the same time regional or constituency executive. That cannot happen. If you find any such situation, bring it up and then it will be iron. Maybe what happens is, if the person is very active in his or her branch and is holding a constituency executive position, the person still takes part in a lot of the branch activity. Like, for example, if you take any national officer, is equally supposed to be active in his or her constituency or branch. If I become very active in my constituency, my region or my branch, another person observing may think that, especially if I held a position there before, maybe analyzing and thinking that you are still holding that position because you are active in terms of the party activity at that level. But legally speaking, you cannot hold two positions in the party today. It is not allowed. You cannot, unless it is by appointment. For example, we can have currently per our constitution a party executive who can also be appointed as a director of elections. You can have a party like we have currently, our vice chairman is a director of elections. That is a position of appointment. We could also appoint somebody who is not holding or who is not an elected officer. Those are different things from standing for a position. That we are going to check very well now.
Exactly.
If you look at the detailed dates that we are announcing, for example, the opening and closing of nominations of the regional level elections is such that you cannot contest constituency position and maybe lose and decide to jump to come to region. By the time the constituency conference is done, we have closed nominations for regional conference. By the time the regional conference is done, we have closed nomination for national conference. So you cannot rush and go and contest constituency and say you are trying your luck. When I lose, then you will run to region. Nobody is going to get that chance now. So we are opening and closing nominations such that you cannot contest this and jump, or contest and win and decide to say that, okay, now that I've won here, I'm moving the next step to go and do so. No, you are not going to get that chance. Per the arrangement we have put in place. 4. Then it came to all the 9. The constituencies also used to be 4 to regional and national congress. Then it went up to 10. Now all the 27 plus other officers qualify to go for national congress. So we will get to a point where possibly all members can even sit in the comfort of their homes and participate in the national congress, because you can use technology. So we will get to that point, and we are a party that always set the pace for others to follow. So I'm sure we will get to that point where people can participate actively. Another announcement, very soon we'll be launching our platform through which party members could pay their dues, contribute the 1 cedi I talked about, the 200 Ghana cedi, the 1,000 Ghana cedi, the 50 cedi, the 20 cedis that you want to contribute to your party. Very soon, it will be more than 2 weeks. We will give you the platform on which you can go and then make your payment, and your information will be captured appropriately and kept. At any time you want that information, you will see it. It won't go. Your payment, when you use that platform, will not go into any individual pocket that will not be reported to the party. It is going straight into the party's accounts that will be utilized by the party. That will be announced very, very, very soon. But I want you to know and communicate to our members across both Ghana and outside of Ghana, our party members, the foreign branches, or there will be a platform that all can contribute towards the funding of the party. So it won't be the pressure on just one person or one person saying, I'm doing everything, so I'm taking everything. Thank you.
GhanaPoliticsOnline.com, 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 GhanaPolitics